Hello. Bl'Artagnan here with the Rundown Remnant. This will be my final run of a Lufenia stage, as we enter an exciting new world of Lufenia Plus, or whatever they call the next difficulty setting in GL, bringing a no burst, no synergy team of Strago, Ash, and Ignis. Three favorites who do some pretty fun stuff in this stage. But before we get into it, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. They're pretty minor things that really do help the channel quite a bit. And leave a comment down below with your thoughts on Lufenia Plus and your fears, hopes, aspirations, dreams, what you're looking forward to with this new difficulty. Maybe share some reflections on the Lufenia difficulty now that we're putting it into our rear view mirror. What did you think about it? What are some of your favorite moments? I want to hear about your experiences, so let me know. So as far as this team goes, Ignis, of course, is just pretty solid here because Fire Enchant, that's kind of the name of the game in this fight. Strago, of course, kind of makes quick work of that first wave, which is really just a warm-up. And Ash ties this all together, so you'll see how this plays out. These guys start off by gaining a bunch of defense, becoming immune to instant break, and gaining a bunch of brave. Scary stuff. Using Ignis there to pop up the orb a little bit, and shave just a teensy bit to get the Imperil on both of them. Because we're relying on Strago here using Saber Soul to break them both. God bless that old man. Now that the orb's in a safer place, we can drop our first Kurasame Call. We don't use them both here because they both need to take an action before they hit 80%. Otherwise, they're going to gain a big old HP damage shield or resistance the entire fight, and it's going to suck. I think they also frame their turns, which doesn't help. That's okay, though. We'll go ahead and take that painful heat debuff and their poison breath, whatever. From here on out, they're not getting another turn. We have a lot of tricks up our sleeves. No delays, no deletions. Well, unless you count Cloud of Darkness. We have a lot of tricks that we're going to be pulling. So just you wait. Go ahead and overwhelm now, pulling Ash up. Strago was already in position, but it's okay. Strago can go ahead and Grand Delta. And with this, we could Queen's Order here, but instead we're going to Heaven's Wrath, jump Ash up. Got a little attack. Ignis' big weakness really is just his on-turn actions aren't very impactful. It's a lot of battery and the Imperil and the auras are nice. The flexibility is nice too. And sometimes the turn spamming can be a good thing, as you'll see, but overall, his on-turn actions rarely result in a lot of damage to the enemy. It's okay though. So we went ahead and used our free Quasar there, because it's time for Ignis to take advantage of that whole charged up EX thing he got from Ash. Deciding here, and we're going to pull Ash ahead this time. Have her recharge her LD. I gotta say, Ash has been one of the most fun units I've pulled in this game. I should have blew her. I ended up making the decision to blue Queen over her because I was trying to conserve my materials, but I kind of regret it just because Ash provides such a unique gameplay pattern and is so much fun to use. Anywho, speaking of unique, fun to use characters, here's Cloud of Darkness. Starting with the LD to give us some breathing room as we go into the burst. Didn't necessarily have to be Cloud of Darkness, but I mean, you can't do a whole lot better than it, I think. We saved that Gabronth call and that second Kurasame call in order to get those extra Cloud of Darkness burst attacks. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of re-breaking to push them back now. Here we are. I guess we could have gotten that extra HP damage earlier in the fight, but I think this is probably worth it. I don't know. It's an extra 70,000 damage on each of them, right? Kind of hard to say which would have been a better choice. If you're still listening and you're a math nerd, you can let me know. Should I have just popped the Kurasame thing and not try to get that extra proc there? Let me know. I'm curious to know which one's better. Again with the Quasar, I gotta say, Strago has held up incredibly well since his Lost Chapter rolled around. That blue armor, he does so much damage. I know at this point I think Vaughn's ceiling is a lot higher than his, but in a 2-target fight anyway, but for a no-burst character to still be just doling out the harshness like this, you'll have to see it. Here's something I wasn't super thrilled with, is using Ash's LD on Cloud of Darkness instead of Ignis, just because the whole Queen EX or Queen LD into Ignis EX is such a brutal combination to play through, but the circumstances kind of forced my hand there. We'll go ahead and use Titus LD just to get a little bit of extra damage here. It's actually going to tick down the orb, which is a little spooky, but we'll live. Now we can go ahead and pop up that orb a bit with Ignis. Ignis's LD. Man, for a final Lufenia, this was kind of interesting. It had some puzzle pieces in it with the orb and them having to act once and the wave at the front, but a lot of it came down to just kind of zero turning them, because letting them maelstrom at all is just so crippling. I'm looking forward to hopefully some slightly more interactive fights in the future, although I know Pandemonium being a delete orb is not making me super optimistic for that. Anywho, we're going to go ahead and Quasar now, putting them into shield range. We're going to make a small mistake here, actually. I'm going to go ahead and see. You'll probably see what I'm about to do here. Going to summon, pushing them back. We're going to try to eat through those HP damage shields. With the Ignis, I definitely forgot to use his recipe before we went to summon, which I should have done, so that was kind of a waste. Nice to know that I'm ending Lufenia Plus on a perfect and unblemished record as far as gameplay errors go. This is actually a pretty meaty HP damage shield, which is why I saved my summon for it, because the orb can definitely tick down there if you're not careful. Luckily, Strago does an absurd amount of damage, so we'll be okay, but man, it's brutal stuff. And there we go, shield's gone. We are now in a position where we can once again pop the orb back up. Once again, we're just trying to keep these guys from taking turns, because we don't want to be fully dispelled by their Maelstrom attack. Pop the orb up once again with Ignis there. Kind of nice to see him do that much damage. And we're now late enough in the fight that Saber Soul isn't hitting for cap. With enough juice, you can actually get Saber Soul to basically deal as much damage as Quasar or Grand Delta, which is awesome. I wonder how Strago's going to fare in Lufenia Plus as we enter into it. He needs some juice to really hit his stride there, but the fundamentals of the whole, full AoE, double dump, kind of non-elemental thing, like it has a lot of room that you can just juice it up with. That's why I like him so much. Is the fundamentals of his kit are so amplifiable. It's wonderful stuff. Anyway, here we go. Look at that! This late in the fight, hitting for that much damage. Strago's so cool. So we are once again charging up Ignis's EX. This is the old Septuagenarian Shuffle I tagged in the video thumbnail as we pull Strago up with Queen. First we pulled him up with Ignis, then we pulled him up with Queen, and now we're pulling him up with Ignis again. It's absolute degeneracy, and I love it. Push them back now with Strago's Grand Delta. Another nice little thing about him is he gets that little double delay on his LD. We're going to go ahead and charge our last Queen's Order. I think we got this in the bag, guys. Well, this is, man, it's kind of weird reflecting. It's the last Lufenia. I mean, we're going to Lufenia Plus now, so it's not that big a... Well, we'll see how big a difference it is, but... Jeez. Getting a little bit reflective here. Well, in any case, we're ending this with a bang. Strago's going to go ahead and use his last Quasar to finish them off. And with that, we have cleared this stage for the last time. I hope you've enjoyed the journey. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed. I already said that. Oh well. Thanks for watching. Adios.